Looking for the latest camera you can purchase now? The response depends on a variety of things: your budget and your efficiency expectations, and whether you enjoy firing. But whatever your desires, a perfect camera is there for you. Welcome to Tida Top 10. I am your host, Johnny Samomo, as we count down the top 10 cameras on Amazon 2020. Whether you're a beginner photographer searching for an update or a dedicated hobbyist wanting the absolute latest high-end gear, selecting the dream camera is just a question of selecting the preferences and making a few sacrifices. Not sure where to get started? That's exactly why we created this guide to purchasing. Don't forget to hit subscribe and click the bell to be notified of new content. Number 10 on the list, Olympus OMDE M1 Mark III, retailed at $1,450. If you ever wanted evidence that a pro camera doesn't have to be a huge beast, it's the Olympus OMDE M1 Mark III. Holding a 20.4 MP Micro Four Thirds sensor that is unfashionably tiny by today's full-frame norms, the Mark III nevertheless excels as a feature-packed imaging kit, powered by a brand new TruePic iX processor. It's fast and reliable to boot. Startup is instant and fast, with up to 18 FPS possible with a continuous AF. There's also a good image stabilization, though Cine 4K and complete HD slow-mo at 120 FPS don't render it slouch in the video field. More surprising still is the vast variety of shooting choices that it provides, from dedicated starry sky autofocus mode to live ND settings that mimic a neutral density filter. You can even capture a 50MP handheld high-res image. Number 9 on the list is Fujifilm X100V, retailed at $1,399. The Fujifilm X100V should not make any sense on paper. A compact camera designed like something from the 1950s with a fixed 23mm f2 lens and a premium price tag. Yet the predecessors of the model have become emblematic among photographers, and the X100V looks set to follow suit. Understated and eternal, there's something really unique about this sleek retro frame. The X100V retains what fits, just adjusting what it needs. There is also a really convenient tilting display and a water-resistant frame, although you need to apply a filter to your lens to get maximum water sealing. The series fixed opening lens configuration has always been great for street and portrait photography, and the results are even stronger now that Fujifilm has introduced a new 26.1 MP APS-C sensor combined with the current X processor 4. Autofocus is faster, noise control better, and image quality improved. The hybrid EVF, both optical and electronic, packs a higher resolution too. Occupying the number 8 is Canon EOS Rebel SL3 EOS 250D, retailing at $499. The two strongest novice DSLRs we've seen lately are the Nikon D850 and the Canon Rebel SL3 250D. Although the former wins for interest, we've gone to the marginally higher 250D for this ranking. Getting a very questionable reputation as the world's smallest DSLR with a completely articulated frame, the 250D is indeed a perfect way to read. Due to the camera, it's also a nice choice for vloggers or photo fans. Being an upgrade to the popular 200D, it brings with it some new features such as 4K video recording and a new processor. If your budget is limited and you don't need a 4K video, the older SL2 200D is a good way to get the cash you save to a new lens. If you're new to a proper camera, the EOS 250D's 24.2 megapixel sensor will give your photo a good setup, while the Fluid AF system comes into play when shooting live views and videos. Number 7 belongs to Olympus OMDE M5 Mark III, retailing at $999. No camera can give you everything, but a few of them are coming close, and the Olympus OMDE M5 Mark III is in that class. Its polycarbonate shell may feel like a step down from the body of its predecessor, but in the hand, this mirrorless snapper is Goldilocks stuff, just right. Lighter than ever and easy to hold, Mark III backs up its good looks with a strong CPU, superlative image stabilization, and shooting modes to match any degree of ability and style of shooting. There is no escape from the fact that its 4/3 sensor has a clear image quality over time, struggling to match larger formats for dynamic range, field depth, and low light performance. Also, the number 6 belongs to Sony A7 III, retailing at $548. After its introduction 5 years ago, the entry-level Sony A6000 has proved a massively successful mirrorless camera. The counterpart, the A6100, takes the current formula and makes some changes to help it cope with today's mirrorless array. Compact and strong, the A6100 combines a beginner-friendly collection of features that won't annoy the more adventurous. It can take time to grasp the quality of the camera, but there's plenty of it. The APS-C sensor is the same 24.2 MP chip used in Sony's more expensive devices, while the autofocus feature is compatible with the flagship Sony A6600. The result is excellent continuous tracking and, coupled with a good lens, images with a lot of detail and generally accurate colors. Battery life is still good, and the tilting panel is now touch sensitive, but its versatility is fairly small. Comfortably sitting in the 5th position is Nikon D850, retailing at $2,996.95. You'd be forgiven for thinking that mirrorless is the only option for class-leading tech right now, but the Nikon D850 still manages to hold its own as one of the best cameras on the market. It has a well-rounded feature set, which means that it appeals to a wide range of users, particularly those already heavily invested in the DSLR space. If you require high definition, it has a full-frame 45MP camera. If you need pace, there's also a 7 FPS burst shooting option that can be improved to a 9 FPS with a battery grip. Sure, that's fairly moderate relative to the 20 FPS Sony A7 II, but it's always strong enough to catch most kinds of play. Occupying the 4th position is Nikon Z50, retailing at $749. Looking for a smaller, more affordable version of the full-frame Nikon Z6 for travel and general shooting? The Z50 fits the bill and is an excellent entry into mid-range APS-C cameras from Nikon. It is particularly suitable for those looking to move from a Nikon DSLR to a mirrorless position as, unlike smaller rivals such as the Fujifilm X-T4, it gives priority to its handling thanks to its large, deep grip. The Z50 produces great photos and has the same excellent autofocus system as the Nikon Z6, which works well for static subjects, but cannot match the performance of something like the Sony A6400 when it comes to sports and action. With an amazing viewfinder and tilting touchscreen, though, the Z50 is the perfect travel and general shooting device and is compatible with older F-mount lenses with an available adapter along with Nikon's latest Z-mount hardware. The 3rd place position belongs to Sony A7 III, retailing for $1,798. We all love the A7 III. The first A7 and A7 II proved that Sony was going in the right direction and producing all the right sounds. Yet, despite being over 18 months ago, this is a 3rd version that still sticks out in the full-frame mirrorless market. The camera core, namely a 24MP full-frame sensor, 4K video, sensor-based image stabilization, 10 FPS burst shooting, and a 693-point hybrid AF system, is strong enough, but with 2 card slots and a 710 slot battery life on top of that, you're getting excellent value for the money as well as top performance. We have some reservations with the viewfinder and weather sealing, but this is still one of the most versatile cameras around right now, mirrorless or otherwise. 2nd place position belongs to Fujifilm X-T4, retailing at $1,699. Looking for a hybrid device that's as capable of capturing video as it's still? The Fujifilm X-T4 is the best choice. It's the best APS-C sensor we've ever reviewed and expands on the excellent base of Fujifilm X-T3 by introducing in-body image stabilization, quick rapid shooting, and other promising style changes. Adding to its all-rounder capabilities are a bigger battery, which keeps it going for 500 shots per change, and some better autofocus, which is quick and accurate in most situations. The 26MP APS-C sensor is already class-leading for stills, but the real trump card for the X-T4 is its success as a video shooter. The IBIS is a big advantage here, and the X-T4 backs that up with a large variety of devices and a fantastic shooting interface, including a completely articulated touchscreen. The winner is Nikon Z6, retailing at $1,596.95. Now, just over a year old, the Z6 still holds its status as our favorite camera. Being a fantastic all-rounder with superb handling, there's nothing that beats it in terms of versatility, usability, and affordability. The Z6 blends both outstanding stills and 4K video output with all else that is essential to a full-frame mirrorless camera. This ensures that we're having a lightweight and compact body that nevertheless continues to maneuver perfectly because of its strong yet ergonomically built grasp. There is also a sharp and crisp 3.69 million dot viewfinder with a responsive tilting touchscreen. We've also been dealing with features such as IAF for the past few months, which helps it compete even more strongly against Sony's Alpha line. If you need anything that isn't shielded, you can use F-mount optics with the available FTZ adapter, retailing at $245.